Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Understand English Easy. Today, I will talk about conditionals. Okay, let me share with you my screen the proper way, and this is not it. Okay, here we are. Okay, conditionals. So let's make it blue, like we always have for main subjects. And what are conditionals? It is taught a lot in school, but it's very seldom explained the way that we have it in the textbook from Oxford for textbooks for teachers. So this is what I copied skeleton from the Oxford book for teachers, and I will explain it to you with you and use it colors as well to make it easier for you to understand. Conditionals in English grammar are sentences that describe a condition and its result. They usually use the word if. Remember, usually, not always. Now, there are 4 conditionals, and they are easy to remember. 0 conditionals, then there is first conditional. Let me just copy it this way. First conditionals, second conditionals, and third conditionals. Now I will make a little bit greater space over here for better visual, and I'm going to play a little bit with it as well. So for example, 0 conditionals, I will change into orange color, and it's always true. First conditional, I will turn into green color. Second conditional, I will turn into, let's say, brown color. And third conditional in red color. Now, why am I doing that? So you remember which explanation belongs to what. Now, the second conditional, 0 conditionals. Okay, I will make the first conditional or 0 conditional purple. It will be easier to understand. Now, 0 conditionals are used for talking about conditions that are always true. You will see the difference. First conditionals are possible true. Second conditionals are imaginary. And third conditionals are impossible past. Impossible past. When I was a snake, I didn't have to walk on my feet because when snake walks, he is lying on his stomach. So, third conditionals may sound like this, but you will understand very fast what it really means. Hello? Let's go up a little bit. Yes. The basic structure is if plus condition, comma, result, or result plus if plus condition. Sounds complicated, but here is example. This is still about conditionals. This is not explaining yet what is 0, first, second, or third conditional. This is only what is conditional. If you study, you will pass the test. You will pass the test if you study. Each sentence says exactly same thing. The only thing is, this clause, if you study, cannot stand on its own. You will pass the test as is independent clause. And so they are divided by comma. But you will pass the test if you study is a simple sentence, one clause, and there is no worries about where the comma could be or should be because there is none. Okay, so let's start about main types conditional. Zero conditional. What color is zero conditionals? Is it purple? Yes, it is. So let's change it to purple. And let's talk. Used for facts, scientific truth, habits, things that are always true. So what I will do, I will put it into line that there is more space and doesn't look big. Scientific truths. Now you see truths, cis, which is interesting. Habits. What are habits? Habits are things that we do all the time and are truthful to our life. And we use these conditionals for living and non-living things. Okay? The structure is very simple. If plus present simple, comma, present simple is, what is present simple second? Solution. Okay, so let's say always true if condition result. Okay, so we have if condition result. So let me write it this. Oops, I will write it this way. If plus condition plus result. And the result is in present simple as well. So let me put it under each other. Here we are. And to make it easier, I will make it capital letter as well. If plus condition in present simple tense plus result in present simple tense. Here are examples. If you heat water to 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. Is that true? Yes, it is. If children eat too much sugar, they become hyperactive. Is that true? Yes, it is. If I drink coffee at night, I cannot sleep. So this conditional expresses something generally true. I should bring it. Okay, what I will do is, okay, because to make sure I want the zero conditionals to be all together. And it stands in purple color. This conditional expresses something generally true. If you heat water to 100 degrees Celsius, comma, it boils. That is all present simple tense. If we go to first conditional, no, then first conditional is what color? I believe it's green. Yes, it is. So first conditional right here is used for real future possibilities or likely situations in the future. I would change it a little bit more, most likely. So I will even make it this way, so you really understand what is it about. Structure is, and now, if plus present simple, will plus base verb. Whoa, that is becoming more difficult now. So if we look at this this structure for the zero conditionals, the first conditional has if plus present simple, will plus base verb. So here we have present simple, and here we have present simple and will and base verb. So let's see. I will use the first sentence as an example, and I will type it, or let's say this way. Oops, I don't like it. Okay. Command V. And now I will write it right underneath as an example. And it will be, if it rains tomorrow, we will stay home. We can use conjunction at home, but this is better. So if I will use if green, and now, because it's becoming more complicated, present simple, rains tomorrow, comma, we will stay at home. Now, what is in green over here? It says if plus present simple rains tomorrow. We will stay, base verb, home. So what is home? Home is object. Now, let's talk about it in second example. If you practice English every day, you will improve quickly. So here we have noun, here we have adverb, and here we have noun again. If she studies hard, she will pass the exam. This conditional talks about a realistic future results, and there is no need for any other explanation. I'm sure that parents are using this conditional quite often. Then we have second conditional. I believe that is in brown. Let me see. Yes. Second conditionals. Here they are. Used for imaginary situation. Well, this is going to be very interesting, but you will understand it very easily. The only thing is, remember what is what and what is what for. And because there are four of them, it's very easy to make mistake and blend it together. So listen to your teacher exactly how the teacher explains it. And if you learn about first conditional, learn only first conditional. Don't learn all four. Here's structure. If plus past simple, would plus base verb. What is would? What is would? I would say it is past simple of will. Is that true? I don't know. Did I forget? I don't know. When you forget, you don't know what you forget. The answer is yes, would is past simple from will. I will go there to help him. It's a simple sentence. I would go to help him, but I was lazy, so I didn't go. That's what would stands for. So here are examples, sorry, and I will use again the first one. Let's see, and let's see. Okay. Here we are. Okay. If past simple, what is simple past or past simple? Okay, here we have if past simple had comma, but here is $1,000,000. So $1,000,000 is just object of the past simple tense. I would base verb travel. Now, whatever is in black, we don't have to say it at all. If I had $1,000,000, I would travel. Now, because if I had $1,000,000 is dependable or it's depending clause, and I would travel the world is independent clause, we can say, I would travel if I had $1,000,000. How about, I will travel if I had $1,000,000? Could it be in here, for example? I don't know. Could it be in here? I don't know. Don't try to think that way yet, because you need to understand the conditionals first. And like I said, you have to learn the conditionals in the schedule as it is in your textbook. Because if you will try to learn it all at once, you will mix it. It will become extremely difficult subject to understand. So, if he spoke better English, he would get the job. Can we say he would get the job if he spoke better English? Yes, we can. If I were you, I would apologize. Can I say I would apologize if I were you? Yes, we can. So the notice is, I will take the notice away because that is not important. And we often use were instead of was after I, he, she in formal English. That's something completely out of English grammar that you learn about pronouns. Now, I will explain something different. Um, Remember this, used for imaginary situations, unlikely situations, or dreams and hypotheticals in our life. Therefore, let's say there is, if I were richer, I would be happier, maybe. If she were here, I would be happier. That's fine. But there is a song, and I would like to use its words because that explains much more than anything else, and that is, I wish I were him. It is song about an angel, and the boy is singing, I wish I were him. What does it mean? It means I, I wish I had his abilities and skills. Or you can say, I wish I were him. He is marrying the dream girl. Everybody wants that girl, and he is marrying her or she's marrying him. I wish I had his abilities and skills. I wish I would be like him so she would want to marry me, not him. So this is quite interesting conditionals, the third conditionals, and here are explanation. This is the definition. Third conditional expresses unreal or unlikely situations. If I were you, I would apologize. It is not important for me, but it may reflect on your future. And then we have third conditional, which is the last one, and that is in a red color. So let me explain the red conditionals used for past regrets. Wow, what is regrets? We could call it mistakes, but I would leave or I will leave regrets because you will learn to understand why. Imaginary past situations. I already said it. In past life, I was a mouse and I was eaten by snake. That's why I'm terrified of snake. Structure, if past perfect would have plus past participle. Well, this is really interesting because it's past perfect and past participle, but they are not together. So let's see examples. I will copy the first example and I will write it right here. Okay. Okay, what did it do to us? Okay, let's leave it as it is. And if, beautiful. Now, where is past perfect? Had studied. Helping verb, past, and perfect, studied. What is studied? Studied is past participle, right? But together it is past perfect. So let's go. Harder, comma, comma, would have. I would have in red and past participle, past. Now Can we say have passed together? Or should we say I is subject, would is verb, or what is would? It is future, it is past simple of the verb will. And then we have past. But here is only past participle. So what is have? So have is not in red. What is have? Because would is actually a helping verb at this point. Have is verb past participle. We don't have over here present perfect plus participle. We have past perfect over here, which is had plus studied. But here we have past participle with present perfect. So we cannot have over here present perfect. We have to have only past participle. I know it's confusing. Talk to your teacher to explain it to you. I will explain it. Actually, I will explain it when I will talk about present perfect and past perfect tenses. But I'm not going to explain it over here because we have to talk about past perfect is had studied. Would, sorry, comma should be read as well. And here I have I, and now would have. So the have should be red, but I made it black because here is past participle, and past participle is only past. So what I will do, okay, I will make it, no, I will do it this way. Past participle, I will make bold, and over here I will have bold only past. Okay, because that what is past participle. At this case, I can make have red color. Again, this is something that as you will study it separately, your teacher will explain it to you better. Or if you require, just send me a message and I will make video just for you and explain only third conditional. Because it's not easy. I know it's not easy. Especially if you have to understand what is past perfect, present perfect, what is would, what is have? Have. Is it verb? Is it a helping verb? Or is it present perfect for the past participle past? This is something that is very difficult to explain when I'm talking about all conditionals. So if they had left earlier, had left past participle, past perfect, they would have caught, which is past participle, the train. This conditional talks about an unreal past result. Oops. So let's go over here and I will explain it in red. Again, conditionals are not easy to understand. Once again, once you start learning them in school, learn one by one as it is explained in your textbook. It is very important. We have mixed conditionals. I don't think you will study them, but I will leave them here and I will just talk about them. Mixed conditionals combine different time references. Example, if I had studied medicine, I would be a doctor now. So I will just make it this way, meaning past condition, present result. So this is even more difficult and more um, hard to explain it if I don't want to talk about each of them for about an hour. Another example, if I were more organized, I would have finished the project yesterday, meaning present condition plus or leads to past result. Now we have past condition to present result, present condition to past result. And important grammar notes. Use a comma when the sentence starts with if. No comma when if is in the middle. And that's about it. So this is, okay, I will delete this one. And I would say these important grammar notes are use a comma when sentence starts with if, clause, and no comma if is in the middle of the sentence. Okay? I wanted to underline it so you would see what is helping and what is an example. Will usually does not follow if. This is another part that I will erase because it applies to university education. There is no need to explain anything else. The most important part is when you learn conditionals, make sure you know there are 4 conditionals and then there are plus mixed conditionals. And then what are first conditionals, second conditionals, third conditional, and that's it. Okay, here are mixed conditional, and the rest is not, I would say, important until you get to university. Okay, talk to you later. I hope you are happy with this explanation because it's complicated. It's not easy, and it's very confusing when you try to learn it all at once. Learn, as it says, the textbook. 1, examples. Learn something else. Second conditional, examples, something else. I believe the first to third conditional or 0 to first condition, 0 to third conditionals is scheduled to study in the terms of 2 years. And that is actually very, very clever. Bye for now. See you next time.